Akweya TV is interested in the culture, our cultures, and our future development. Today, we're going to bring you someone who left her job to provide education for children. Now she has 50 children getting free education due to the efforts she's putting into what she calls the Oakbridge Foundation. This conversation is going to excite you because she's doing what many people think no Nigerian would do, to do something for free. But not just that, she's a woman who is doing this extraordinary stuff. Education has been a big focus for us on Akweya TV because we know that's how you shape a future generation. That's also how you shape a new culture and a new conversation about our lives. So in this conversation with Angela, the founder of Oakbridge Foundation, I'm sure you're going to take away a lot of lessons because despite giving this free education, she does not earn any dime from the Oakbridge Foundation. Stay tuned. So you're welcome to the studio, Angela.
Thank you for having me.
Akweya TV talks development and as it relates to culture. Education is one of the means of transmitting culture or building a new culture. What took you into that space? Everybody says you are too young.
Well, okay, I've always been interested in foundation of children.
Yeah.
Growing up, I knew that whatever a child or a person would become in the future would have a lot to do with the foundation that is laid. You know, so I always loved children. I always had interest in their foundation. And while trying to decide what to do with my future, as in career-wise, I decided to go into education.
Okay.
So I studied education in tertiary institution, went on to teach. No, Benue State University. Yes, okay. I went on to teach at a school here in Abuja, and that's how I got this far. Yes.
Is there a religious component to the inspiration?
Oh, well, well, I have a lot of spiritual background about, you know, getting your direction and purpose from God. So yes, I would say that it had a role to play in all of it.
The name Oakbridge Foundation, where did that come from?
Okay.
Bridge.
Oak is, of course, from the tree. That tree that lasts for many years and provides shelter. The qualities are vast. So bridge there is connecting the children I work with to the future of their dreams, or even the future beyond their dreams. And then the oak there stands for long lasting, something that will flourish, something that will last long, something that will provide solutions in the future. So that's how the names came together, oak and bridge. So let's say in this case the bridge is built using the oak tree. Something that will last for years also. So
those are the kind of bridges in my village. You know, why did you start from Pape in Abuja? You know, why didn't, okay, so you are from Benue and you studied in Benue State University. Why didn't you go to Benue?
Why didn't I go to Benue? To be honest, Benue was one of the pictures I saw. I saw Benue, I saw my village. I'm from a community called Opa.
Okay, yes.
If I would be honest right now, when I finished exams before service, my elder brother asked, 2010, my elder brother asked, so what are your plans? What's next? I said, well, to be honest, I would like to go to Benue and start teaching children. He had this sarcastic look that I will never forget. So you first need to help yourself before you go help other people. So yes, that was one. The fact that, okay, I didn't think I had the resources for Benue. So I needed to stay somewhere close to family, somewhere close to people. But I chose Pape because I had a cousin of mine lived there. So I had some like basic information about the communities that were in there. I knew that there were children who couldn't afford school in that community. And so that's why I picked it.
How much do they pay?
It's free.
It's free?
Yes, so we run it with support from partners, individuals, friends, family members. companies of friends, and that's how we've been running it.
How many years now?
Going on 6, 5 going on 6.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. And so when they say, do you have the resources for Benue, what did that mean? I thought Benue was going to be cheaper than Abuja.
Well, you know what it is about a place where you're familiar. So starting at that point, I knew that one day it's something that can spread. It's something that, because this vision goes beyond me.
Yeah.
It's about more people who will be interested in helping children access education. So yes, at that time, you would say that it's safe to do something around where you can readily get resources.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
And something that, if I'll be honest also, I needed to be in a place where I would not lose interest really fast, or I would not interest, but get discouraged really fast. You know, but in Abuja, there are friends, I have family members, I have like a support system, more so to speak. So yes.
I'll dwell on that because it seems Benue kills businesses, Benue kills ideas.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Do you agree with that? Because it seems subconsciously, and many others we've spoken with, it's the kind of thought that is there, that if you bring something to Benue, there's going to be this debilitating TV Doma, or even if it's not TV Doma, even within Idoma.
Personally, no. Personally, no, it has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
But yes, that's true. We hear that about things going down or in Benue, but it doesn't have anything to do with my personal decisions. No.
I mean, I'm not saying this to bring Benue down. I'm even actually saying this because you've got the most talented crop of people.
Very true.
Hard-working crop of people. But why is it that when you are ranking at every point, you have to throw Benue in one of those lower rungs of the ladder? You see every ranking, good roads, Benue is high up there, right?
Is it high up
well,
there?
you
well,
know
I think, it starts with people. Then, the first place we want to hit is government. But yes, government is the people. So there's a lot of development that, if allowed to happen in Benue, or things that they explore, the potentials we have, if they are explored, I'm sure a lot of people want to do more in Benue, would want to invest more in Benue. And like I said, my decision didn't have to do with the general, it was a personal thing. But Benue has a lot of potential, and I know that I have a few colleagues in education who are doing great things now. So I believe that it's a matter of time, a matter of vision, and people who will drive the vision before we start seeing Benue for what it really does have. That's how I would say it.
I agree with you when you say it's about the people. I always say, when you see all these reckless politicians that speak anyhow, talk down at the people, there are things they don't do. They don't insult religious leaders, whether Islamic or, because they know you will rise up. The things they do, it's all the money is for health and education and everything. They know you are not going to complain. So it's the people. We love the country the way it is, in the terrible shape it is. If we didn't love it, we would rise up.
Very true.
Yes.
I say this thing about patriotism. I say that the problem we have in Nigeria is patriotism. If you give me money to develop education, and I see it as an investment in my home, in something that belongs to me, in my pride, I wouldn't give it less. I wouldn't reduce the standards. So I think it starts from how we raise these children, going back to the foundation, like I said, telling them that this country is ours. Whatever we invest in, it comes back to us. It builds us, it builds our future, it builds our children. If we can drive that patriotism early, or even now, well, it can still help a few adults. If we can drive that culture, a lot of things will change. A lot of things will become better.
If you were the Minister for Education now, because you ran a school from scratch, what do you think the Minister of Education should do to support non-governmental organizations or private school owners? I mean, what policies would be favorable?
Well, support. Well, I'll use the word collaborate, like see ourselves as partners. Because, governments cannot, as it is, cannot run everything. So we should have a common ground where we talk. We're the ones who go into those communities. We're the ones who interact with these people. You can ask us the challenges, you can ask us to make recommendations. Like if we had more schools in a community, one community, you would not have children going long distances to go to school. If you had more schools in a community, you would not have 80 to 100 children cramped in one class. Okay, so people like us can tell you the things that you should do, to reach these people in the grassroots. And the key word there is inclusion. So as much as the people who can afford it can access anything, what about those people in those communities who can't? So people like us can paint the picture because we feel the pulse of the people. So yes, it's collaboration.
How were you received originally in Pape? Did they hug you? Did they bring out their children? And
the picture I had in my head was that, okay, they'll be excited, it's education. But I found out over time that, somebody has to value what you're giving for them to embrace it. So yes, thank you. The first family I met, they were grateful, you understand. But the truth is, people would embrace you faster if you're giving food stuff out, if you're giving money for business startup, things like that. So, but yes, the chief was very welcoming. He used this word in Hausa, Chigaba, that means go ahead, like I'm not stopping you. So yes, a few people did embrace the work, but the truth is that people would embrace something that puts food in their mouth faster. Because, education is a potential thing, something that grows over time. But I would say altogether, we're still there because, the community is welcoming. They are supportive. Every work we do, we work mostly with people in the community. If it has to do with structure, we use masons or painters or electricians, plumbers, whatever it is from within there. So it's our way of also saying, we're in this together. We wish that the culture of giving back, of community participation was better than it is, but we're working with what we have. Yes.
You also recently started a strategic planning process. Are you planning to leave Oakbridge Foundation, or what's the plan? Are you trying to hand over?
Oakbridge started with me.
Yes.
Me and one child. I cannot tell you, they are 50. I cannot 50? Tell you, yes, across primary 1 to 4.
Wow.
So I cannot tell you I saw the very end, but I knew that it's beyond me. Because if it has to go beyond one community to more communities, it has to be beyond me. Other people coming into it. So yes, we're setting structures in place. Even with the way I interact with my teachers, I put the structure in such a way that if I am not there, it can run. So when they say you're the owner, I say I'm not the owner, I'm the founder. Any of you can one day run this. So, the vision started with me, but more people have to drive it. So yes, we want it to be able to stand so that when Angela is not there, it can still run.
She's going to join the UN or...
Well, one of the places I would like to be is where I would lend my voice in policy making. So maybe working with the government, lending. Yes, so I don't know, UN.
Where?
Okay. Yes, so it's not just about where I'm going, it's about Oakbridge running on its own. Yes, definitely I would branch out, but it will still be in education. It will still be about promoting inclusion, eventually. So yeah.
People have said the education curriculum in Nigeria tends to teach the children foreign cultures. You people are playing Barney and Friends and all of that in school and all of that. If they accuse you of doing that, what's your response?
Let me come from this angle. So Oakbridge is raising children to be global citizens. So we accept where we are. We appreciate our culture. We do that even in school. There are times when we celebrate things that, we have events that celebrate culture, the way they dress, what they eat, language, dance, and all of that. But the truth is that the world is one.
Hopefully.
Well, whether we like it or not.
Because it's one when the West is bringing theirs, but when we're taking ours there, well, it's not exactly one, is it?
Well, it depends on how much we believe in what we're even taking out. Well, let me go back to what I was saying. So we're raising global citizens. We want them to see that they can function anywhere. And functioning anywhere would have to do with seeing how things are done in other parts. There's this partnership we are in with a school in the UK. The idea is to help children to have international education.
Okay.
That means to deal with stereotypes or assumptions about other people's culture. So children learn across cultures. So a child in Nigeria learns across with a school in the US, in the UK. We show our culture, we show everything. So we compare, we see the things we have in common and the things that we do not have in common. So that's the idea of exposing them to education outside of Nigeria. But we still appreciate our culture. One of our subjects is Nigerian studies. So we still study our history, how we got here. We still give them opportunities to go home to speak with their grandparents or their parents.
You don't teach them that Mongo Park discovered River Niger because River Niger was there before Mongo Park came.
We haven't done that. But okay, so we appreciate our culture. We help them to see all of that. We've even been invited to events by internationals, like diplomats who live in Nigeria, who want to hear us sing in our local languages and things like that. So we still appreciate our culture, but the truth is that we want to prepare them to live beyond Nigeria, beyond Africa. So yes, so if we work hard enough, integrate Nigerian education with what the West has given us, we would still not lose where we have come from, our roots and all of that.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, the time has really been spent. I really want to thank you so much for coming on here, Angela.
Thank you for having me.
You didn't give us your full name and...
Okay, my name is Onyemowo Angela Ejime.
Onyemowo means?
Who sees, if you want to interpret it, who sees another person's future or destiny. It's like you can't tell how somebody will turn out just by seeing them today. So
and nobody thought the school, Oakbridge Foundation School at Mbappe, would turn out to be that big school.
Not as big as we are dreaming, but yes, there were people, I didn't know about it. There were people who told me like 3 years down the line, when you started, you're like, she will, when she gets to an extent, she will turn back. Who leaves their job to go and be giving free education, and things like that. So yes, I would say that in many ways I live by...
Why did you leave your job to go?
Well, I needed to give it full attention. I also knew that if there were other ways I worked, I would still earn money in other ways. So if I said I would do Oakbridge after school, I felt like it won't give the full texture and quality that I wanted it to have from the onset. So it's something that I thought through. I resigned 5 months ahead of the end of the session. So it's not a spontaneous decision. I thought about it.
And for those watching, she's not lying. Angela is into cleaning. She has done cleaning jobs. She has done chin-chin. She's still doing cleaning. She has some fashion stuff going by the side also, right?
No, hair related.
Hair related. Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
So yes.
Thank you so much. I really had fun, and I think we can really go on and on Akweya TV talking about what you're doing in education as relates to the future of Nigeria's development. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Because of COVID, we can't... I trust you enjoyed that conversation because, Angela was at her best. And now we're going to go to the next segment where we entertain you with good traditional dance. Our culture is rich. Cultures are rich across Nigeria. Stay tuned.
welcome to Akweya TV News. My name is Idajo Aja with the news bulletin. Activities in Benue State Government House Makurdi now suffer setback as top government officials are being diagnosed with the dreaded coronavirus disease COVID-19. It was gathered that even the junior workers seems to be afraid of going about their normal duties and most times prefer to stay away from work. As at the last count, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has recorded not less than 125 cases of COVID-19 in Benue State. Also, since the governor's wife, Mrs. Eunice Otom, her son, cook, and other domestic staff were reported to have contracted the disease, the governor himself, though still free of the virus, has gone into isolation as a way of curtailing the spread of the disease. On a visit to the government house, it was observed that many staff, including security men and cleaners, absconded from work ostensibly for the fear of contracting the disease. Those that have contracted the disease and are receiving treatment at different isolation centers, including the Secretary to the State Government, SSG, Professor Tony Ijabo, the Chief of Staff, COS, Mr. Tewase Obunde, the Head of Service, Mrs. Veronica Onyeka, Vice Chancellor of Benue State University, Makurdi, Professor Unso Kembe, and the Pro-Chancellor of BSU, Professor Zachary Godu. Sadly, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration of BSU, who doubles as Vice Chairman of the COVID-19 Committee in the state, Professor Godwin Achenge, died of the disease. But the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mr. Teve Akase, said the development did not mean that the government was grounded, adding that the governor was still working as most activities were carried out virtually. Military authorities say troops of Operation Wheelstroke raided a den of kidnappers in Tomayin village in Logo, local government area of Benue State, after a fierce exchange of fire with the hoodlums, leading to the rescue of 34 kidnapped victims. An update issued by the Directorate of Defense Media Operations said the encounter followed credible intelligence on the activities of notorious kidnap syndicates operating in the general area of Igbom village in Zenza Council Ward of Logo Local Government Council. It said troops of Sector 2 and 4 on the 16th of July 2020 carried out a raid operation on a suspected kidnappers' dens located at Tomayin village in Logo Local Government area of Benue State. Troops had contact with the bandit, leading to the exchange of fire as troops closed in on the hideout. The gallant troops responded with superior fire, forcing the armed bandit to flee in disarray into the bushes. The determined troops engaged the criminal elements in hot pursuit, leading to the killing of one Zwa Ike, identified as the ringleader, and other escaped with various degree of gunshot wound, it said. The update signed by the coordinator of the Directorate of Defense Media Operation, Major General John Enenche, said the successful encounter led to the rescue of 32 kidnapped victims, some of whom have been in the captivity for over a month. He said the rescued kidnapped victims were later reunited with their family in different communities in Logo Local Government area of Benue State, while troops also recovered one AK-47 rifle, one AK-45 magazine, 6 locally made rifle, 1 locally made pistol, and a magazine. Others include 22 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, 2 cartridges, 2 motorcycles, and some charms. The hideouts were also destroyed. The military high command congratulated the gallant troops for their professionalism and encouraged them to intensify the onslaught against the enemies of the country. The national president of Akpa Youth Progressive Forum has described the death of Comrade David Edashe Adeka as a monumental loss to the youth and entire Akweya. Late Comrade Adeka was the president of Akpa Youth Progressive Forum, AYPF, Ogioma branch, who died on Thursday, the 16th of July 2020 after a brief illness in Karishi General Hospital, Abuja. Speaking with Akweya TV, Comrade Augustine Onkpe said, "We are saddened by the death of Comrade David Edashe Adeka. He left us all shocked and shattered. He was a courageous, selfless, humble, and dedicated towards the development of Onyemowo youth. When he spoke to me after his election, he expressed the vision and passion he has towards unity of Akweya youth at large. I would have asked that why, because he has the capacity to continue so much more to Akweya development. But who am I to question the Creator? I can imagine the enormous strain his death must have put on his family. I urge all Akweya youth to summon the strength and the courage to overcome these dark and difficult times in the lives of the youth. We shall miss his humility and loyalty to the principle of rendering Onyemowo a better place for all. Comrade Edache Adeka was buried on Monday, the 20th of July 2020 in his hometown, Onyemowo, Akpa, in Otukpo local government. He passed on at the tender age of 33. The Nigerian Air Force has said it will hand over the driver and 2 other occupants of the Kia Cerato SUV, which killed Nigerian first female combat pilot, Flying Officer Tolu Lope Aritole, to the police for investigation and prosecution. The Nigerian Air Force disclosed that the suspect, Mr. Nehemiah Adejo, Mr. Igbekele Folorunso, and Mr. Festus Gbeyogon, all former schoolmates of the deceased at the Air Force Secondary School, now Air Force Comprehensive School, Kaduna, were still in custody. It was gathered that after investigation, the culpable person among the suspects will face manslaughter charges. Disclosing the detail of the preliminary investigation to journalists at the NAF headquarters in Abuja on Sunday, the Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, said the service will work with the police to prefer appropriate charges against the culpable person among the vehicle occupants. Arotile, age 24, was knocked down by the suspect at the NAF base in Kaduna on Tuesday, the 14th of July 2020. Thanks for watching. My name is Idajo Aja, Akweya TV News.